Hi friends, my name is Megan and welcome to my 34th Flosstube episode. If you're new here, this is a channel that is mostly about cross stitch. And I do share my other hobbies here as well when I work on them. So today I have just a little bit of sewing that I'm going to share, and I normally get that out of the way kind of right at the very beginning because that segment is always very short. If you are returning, welcome back. I'm so glad that you all have come back to spend some time with me today. You know, I appreciate it so much. Today is Sunday, October the 2nd, and it is a kind of dreary, rainy, sleepy kind of day here in Maryland. So a perfect day to get all my stuff out and form a floss tube for all of you. I hope everybody's been well. We've been doing okay. Quentin's just going to school and working. We have his senior pictures on Tuesday, which is, I still can't believe that he is a senior this year. That's so crazy to me. I got a cat here, Smittens. She's on the prowl. I think Bug Kitty's in here too. He's asleep in the closet back there. Yeah, so Quentin is doing his thing. We were supposed to take him and his girlfriend to the Renaissance fair here in Maryland today, but like I said, it's rainy and yucky, so clearly we're not doing that. I'm gonna have her over for dinner instead. I'm gonna roast the chicken later, and that should be really nice. So it's Quentin. Aaron is pretty standard. He's downstairs hanging out with the dog. He does not have to work today because of the weather, so the weather's, you know, kind of crappy, but it's been nice to have him around this weekend. I know the dog appreciates it too. And I've been doing okay. Just busy at work and with some social obligations, most of which are stitching related, so I can't complain too much. But no, it's, you know, we're just starting to hunker down for the fall. It's our favorite time of year here, and yeah, so we're doing okay. What do we have today? Like I said, I have a little bit of sewing to share with you. I have some finishes, some whips, which are works in progress. I've got some new starts in here. I have, so if you are new to my channel, I participate in something every October called Dark October Stitching. It's the brainchild of Emily of Eclectic Possessions and Michelle at Cozy Egg. The idea is to just stitch your dark stitching projects for the whole month of October. They also do it on the 13th of every month as dark 13 stitching, I think, but my act is never together enough to participate in that. October, I do though. So I brought all my plans out to show you guys what I hope to be working on for the month of October. And then I have a little bit of things that came in the mail, a little bit more from a stitchy swap that my group had. So kind of, you know, the normal fare. All right, so let's get started here. Like I said in my last video, I was doing a little bit of secret sewing, and I was using a pattern that I got quite some time ago. I don't typically share, if I get like fabric and sewing stuff, I don't typically share that in kind of like my haul section, but a little while ago I got this pattern. It's called the Warbler Pincushion by the Blackberry Patch. Looks like this, and as soon as I saw this, I was like, yes, I need to make these for the people in my stitching group. We are the Threaded Wrens, so I wanted to make little bird pincushions for each of us. And then right when I got this, one of my favorite online fabric stores, Swanson Fabric, it's like kind of like a thrift store for fabric or a consignment shop for fabric. And all of their fabric, it used to be $4 a yard, it's now $5 a yard to cover, you know, cost. Everything has gone up. They had some fat quarter bundles, like mix and match fat quarter bundles, so I got one of those, and when it all came together I knew it was going to be just perfect to make some scrappy little birds. So I'm gonna have some pictures that I can insert here of all of them. I made 14 in total, and I have a couple of them still here. I've got one for me. This one is mine. So for most of these I used the fat quarter for the fat quarter bundle to make the bird's bodies, and then the wings I made out of just scraps from my stash. And I got these little wooden, unfinished wooden spools on Amazon, and Aaron stained them for me. And I just hot glued these birds on here because I could not think of a better way to attach them, but I think they are super cute. I'm really happy with how that turned out, and I know that my stitchy friends like them as well. I've got two other ones here. One friend was unable to join us this past Sunday. My drink. So here is one that will go home with her. This little purple and green birdie. And we have another friend who unfortunately broke her leg, and so she has not been able to attend, so I've got one here for her too, and I will be getting that out in the mail to her. So those turned out super cute. I'd like to, there's another style of bird in here, and the little round pincushion as well that I would like to make some of those too. So that was super fun. Actually, I used my mom's sewing machine for the first time. She has an old Singer 404, I think, and my normal brother that I'd always use was acting a little funny, so I decided to try to plug hers in for the first time and was able to use that. I think I need to learn how to use that, but it was great. Alright, so that's the sewing that I have been up to. Let's get into some of the stitching. So first thing I'm going to show you are the monthly stitch-alongs that I have been working on. I guess not really stitch-alongs. For me, they're stitch-along, I guess. Never mind. Let's keep going. The first one that I worked on was the 13 Moons Mystery Sale by the Little Stitcher. Here's my sad little copy. Lives in this project bag that I made. I am stitching these on some 32 count Twilight Blue, excuse me, linen. I think it's a Witchelt linen. And I believe the last time I filmed a video, I was working on Honeymoon, which I have since finished. So there's Honeymoon. So this was June's Moon. I'm using all of the Call to 4 DMC with the exception of the White of the Moon. I am using Sulky for that. That turned out really cute. So here's where we are with those. Very nice. I did not work on my Top Knot Stitcher moons since the last time I filmed, because I'm done through July on that, and I'm just finishing up June on my other two. The other monthly stitching, what am I trying to say? The other monthly thing that I'm working on are the monthly Quaker series by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy, and I just finished up this June Quaker this morning. These live in this melon bag that I made, and each of these calls for 3 colors, and I'm just pulling colors out of my stash. So here are the colors that I picked for June. This yellow does blend in just a little bit. Sorry, y'all. But this blue is Yamira's Almond M&M's Blue Silk. And I think I have quite a few of her silks, but I think this is the first time I used it, and it was really, really nice. Those. Here's where we are with the monthly Quakers. Like I said, it is dreary, and this room does have 2 windows, but I have a light on over here, so things are a little weird. Try my best. So here's where we are with that. We got January, oops, February and March, April, May, and then here's June. Pull this up a little bit. So here is June. Cute. This one was nice. It wasn't, some of these feel like really like a lot of stitching. Oh, this is 22 count Ada. But this one was pretty quick. I like this little blue cat. Cute. Very nice. I was glad to get that done. So typically I work on my monthly stitching on my lunch break at work, but for the month of October I'm going to set those to the side a little bit. I've been pretty diligent with working on getting those done, even though I am months behind, that's fine, to work through some of my October plans, which I'm very excited about. So I did have another new start that I was keeping in the car. I happened to have like a lot of appointments recently, like some dentist appointments and getting some work done on my car, and I wanted something little for a while. I was waiting in waiting rooms and things like that. So I started this little Mill Hill kit. This is the Autumn Harvest collection, and this one is called Come Stitch. You can see that okay? I'm keeping it in my little woodland animals having a party bag. I love this little bag. And I didn't get super far. Here's where I got. So just a little bit of outline and fill in on the sign. There's no rush on this. It's just, you know, as it goes. So that was nice. I'll probably put this back in my car just in case I find myself in those situations again. I do have one more dentist appointment coming up in like 2 weeks, so. Well, I'm just holding talking about the dentist. This is how I sorted my threads for that, just on an index card. Okay. So let's see. I cannot fully remember what I showed you and talked about in my last video, so I'm not sure if I had started this yet. I might have. We're just going with it. So September, Sampler September, and I was not super successful at participating in that. I did just a little bit. I've been really trying to get some things wrapped up and focus on some of my order whips and goals and get those done. So this is one that I did work on. This is Sally Morse, $17.95. This is by the Scarlet Letter. This was a kit that I had. It came with the fabric and the 4 colors of silk: a dark olive, a rust, a white, and a black. This was cute. It turned out to be just 5x7. It was a 30 count linen so that you could I could stitch it in hand. That was fine. It was a hand-drawn chart, and doing at the bottom here, this is all satin stitch. That was a little bit tricky, but you know, we just make it work. And here she is. Maybe show you a little better. Here we go. Here she is. She's cute. She was fun to stitch. Like I said, just 4 colors of silk. She went pretty quickly. She was nice and relaxing. I really enjoyed her a lot. That was a cute little sampler. The next one I pulled out is not little. The next one I pulled out is Miss Lucy Calcutt. $18.25 by Just Stitching Along. I've been working on this for quite some time now, and I was hoping to get a couple of pages done on this year, and that will not happen. I can say that for sure. This lives in, whose bag is this? Delicious Threads. Delicious Threads bag. Look at that, beautiful. And I'm stitching it in all of the for DMC. And I pulled, I'm stitching this also on 25 count even weave that I dyed 1/1. And I pulled it out and I just tried to start on page 3 and I was just not feeling it. So I've done page 1 and page 2, and then here I started on page 3, and I was just trying to work on that border, and I was just so tired at the end of the day. I couldn't concentrate on it. It was just not the right time for her. She is a lot of pinks and very pretty colors, and so I'm thinking maybe if I pull her out in the spring, when things are starting to bloom, she'll feel a little, maybe I'll get into her a little bit more. Because she's beautiful. I don't know. Just wasn't feeling it this time. It's okay. What I was feeling was getting, like I said, some of my order whips done. So I worked and worked and worked on this, and it felt like it was never going to end. But it did, as they do. This is Raven Bewitched by Blackbird Design. Looks like this. That lived in this beautiful Diana. It is Kismet bag. Love this bag. I stitched this in the called for colors on a piece of 36 count bramble. I pictured this plus. I will say I used a whole skein of Raven, almost a whole skein of espresso bean, hickory sticks, and a little bit of Garden Gate left. I was a little worried about that one. This is 2/2 on 36 count. And here is my finish. I love this. I think this turned out just so pretty. I feel like from the cover photo, you can't really tell how beautiful all the colors are. I'm just really, really pleased with how this looks. I did make one change to this pattern, and that is down at the bottom. It said, what did it say? October 31st, 1851. And I couldn't find any significance to that date anywhere, so I changed it to October the 7th, 1849. That is the day that Edgar Allan Poe passed away. And this will go up on our Poe wall. So cute. To change the date at the bottom, I did use my lovely Art Design Halloween Sketch and Stitch book. I love this book. I've used it many times. It's full of lined graph paper, so that you can customize things, or if you want to chart out your own little thing. This thing's great. Use it all the time. Alright, so I pulled out of my little pile of kits, my little kits, another little sampler to work on, just to kind of finish out the month. And this is a Good Housewife pattern. It's called the Little Sampler. Looks like this. It came with the fabric and the DMC, and it says, "Girls, do not cook and scrub and scour until you have no time to plant a tree or vine or flower." That looks like. Again, living in a Diana bag. This had my mirror in it for a long time. Here's the little DMC, and here is my finish. And this was easy. I'm not sure what count fabric this is. I didn't check. There are some areas that you stitch with 1 strand of floss and some that you stitch with 2. And then she suggests tea staining with, I think she specified, Irish breakfast tea bags once it's all done. So I will definitely be aging this and grunging this up at the end. And while I was stitching it, I was like, I'm sure that I have another pattern that says the same thing. And I did. And this is a Kathy Barrick pattern. And again, it says, "Girls, do not cook or scrub or scour until you have no time to plant a tree or vine or flower." And that one looks like this. So I might stitch that one on the other half of this fabric. This one's got some more color in it. But this was fun. This was nice in the evening just to avoid bedtime with. Okay, so yesterday I had what I feel like is another really big finish for me, because I've been working on this for a long while. This is a collection of 4 patterns by Collection Tra La La. I'm assuming it's her, sorry, Bonhomme de Neige pattern. So there are 4 of them. This is Spring and Summer, which I had already finished. And then here is Winter and Fall. And I had Fall to do still. I think I started these on my mom's birthday a few years ago. My mom loved snow people. Loved them. Tons of them. They were everywhere. And so I started this on her birthday so I could think about her and, you know, just keep her close. So those are the patterns. They all lived in this giant Crafter Emporium bag. I don't know that they still make bags. And these little patterns used a lot of floss. So there was, you know, a couple DMCs, which is fine, like 4 DMCs. I used the Sulky White, which is my favorite white, to do the fill-in on the snow ladies, and I did use a spool and then a little bit more. But this pile of floss was for the spring and summer, so so not a small amount. And then this other pile of floss was for the winter and the fall. So that was a lot of floss in this project. So I'm happy to have these going back into my stash. And here they all are. So I'll fold it up and I'll bring them in just a minute. So if you saw in the pattern, they do have them finished as little stand-ups, and that is how I intend to finish these as well, hopefully. So here's the one I just finished. Here's Fall. She's sweet. She's got a little acorn crown. How cute is that? And her squirrel. Let's see, and then here is Spring. Summer. Their little fishbowl. And Winter, which I think is actually my favorite. So it was you know, this was like one of those bittersweet finishes, you know. Like, I'm happy to have it done, but I will miss working on them. So sweet. So that took us up to yesterday. Well, I finished the June Quaker this morning, and then I finished those Snow Ladies yesterday because I wanted to kind of feel like I was like free and clear going into October. So I pulled out my first project for the month last night, and this is a very sad working copy of Black Sky by the Primitive Beetle. This is what it looks like, or the mock-up. It lives in this Janet Jabber bag that I love, 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 and I am pulling my own colors for this. I'm kind of doing it block by block, which I think when I first started this project, it kind of hung me up doing it that way, but now I feel much better. I've got the next 2 blocks all picked out. Just to show you a little bit of behind the scenes chaos on how I do this. This is not how I typically would kit up floss for a pattern, but like I've got this giant bag of floss of like possible things that I might be using or have used. So that's kind of a mess. These are the colors for the 3rd block, but I have actually started in on the 4th block, which has the alphabet. These are the main colors that I'm using for that block. I'm using black coral for all of the black in this piece. These are pretty, and then I am highlighting a few of the letters in the alphabet with some other colors as well. Some family initials. This is being stitched on 36 count Old Brown by XJ Design, and here's where I got to last night. It's not too bad. So a little bit into my plans, I'm going to pull out I have 6 large projects that I want to start / work on, and then I pulled out a bunch of smalls. And each of my big projects will get 5 days, so this was day 1 on Black Sky. I am anxious to get back to that tonight. Okay, so on to plans. Real quick, I found these at the Target like dollar spot at Target, and I don't know that I would do that, but I thought maybe somebody might be interested in like finishing their cross stitch with some of these. I thought they were cute. There's this little house. These were $5 each. This little like gate. It's got stand something up on there, and this little like haunted house. So, just some ideas. I don't know. I don't know if anybody cares, but all right. On to plans. With the exception of this first project, I'm going to show you my my larger plans first, and then the smalls that I picked. I know that there's no way that I will get to all of these smalls in this month, but I'm hoping to just work through some of these patterns. I have this small on top because I'm starting this one after I clean up after this. And this is Pineberry Lane Cats and Jacks. Just like this on 36 count linen, which I'm using. Each of these are about like 2.5 by 3 or so. So small. I've got a piece of 36 count Barb's Blend by R&R that I'll be stitching those on, and I am using the called for DMC for that. This came, and this little floss ring came from Crafty Cat Stitcher, her Etsy shop. Cute. There will be a little bit of things came in the mail included in the section as well. Alright, so the first project that I'm going to pull out is by Not Forgotten Farm. This is Halloween Barnyard. And I was lucky enough to snag one of Olivia B's project bags. Her Etsy shop is Hillside Rookery, and so I'm going to keep this in here because she is the one, she stitched this. And inspired me to stitch it as well. So here's the first project. This fabric is a little out there for me for something like this, I think, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna use this fabric here. Do I know what this is? This is definitely a 36 count Fortnite Fabrics in Phoenix Rising. So I'm hoping that this will look like a stormy sky behind our little barn. And I will be using all of the called for DMC for this. There is a little doggy on this pattern down here. So I'll probably change that little doggy to look like Cora. Oh, which on the doggy stop. Cute. Alright, next up, this is another new bag. This is from Melanie on the girl I get the project bags from on Stash Unload. This is cute. It's mice and pumpkins. And in this bag I am keeping the Witchy Stitcher Poe the Raven cross stitch pattern. What is it called? Looks like this. This was in the Edgar Allan Poe box that I got a little while ago, and I had the called for fabric, which is called Dark Spell by Primitive Hair, and I have this hank of black silk by Mosale, so I'm going to use that. It's not variegated, it's just pretty. It's just a pretty black color. I'm going to use that for the black, and probably black and some other things as well. Another Melanie bag. This one is Black Cat. So I think this must be a new one too, because she always, not always, but often includes a little like extra. It's got some floss tags in it. And this is Cats on Parade by Blackbird Design. I've had this in my stash for quite a while. I'm going to be using the 3371 that is called for the brown black. And I've got this piece of 32 count Lugana June Prim Ship's Manor in there. This is a while ago. I had that. Let's see. Next up is another Melanie bag, because you know I love her bags. These are dogs dressed up for Halloween. Adorable. In this bag, I am holding Barbara Anna Designs, the Rampant Cat sample. I have long loved this. I'm going to be stitching this using the called for DMC, and I've got a piece of 32 count ale Lugana in here. There's a lot of glare. I'm not 100% sold on the fabric. I might need to put some stitches in and see what I think about that. I might want to go a little bit later. We will see. In this Emily C bag that I've had for quite some time now. This bag has gotten a lot of love and sold a lot of projects. In this bag, I am keeping a sampler that another sampler I'm going to be starting. This one reminded me of Emily. This is Carriage House Samplings, Agnes Rollinson. Looks like this. And I'm going to do this little one here, not the whole thing. It's beautiful, but that verse does not resonate with me, so I'm going to do this little one. It says, in the midst of life we are in death, memento mori. Each step we move is toward the grave, resurgerum. So I'm going to do that one. I'm going to be doing that in the called for DMC, and this is a piece of 36 count millstone, I think. So called for DMC. And that will bring us up to Halloween. And so for Halloween, I'm going to start my anniversary sampler. And this is not in a bag yet because I think I'm going to make one. And this is Hoodoo Voodoo by the Primitive Mule. And I'm just going to stitch this on a piece of 32 count vintage pear by Lakeside. And I just pulled colors from my stash. So those are all of the big projects that I hope to start. It didn't feel like a lot until I just showed it to you guys, but it's fine. So those are the big projects, and now I'm going to show you some of the smalls that I've pulled out. 2 years ago, I think I finished a Not Forgotten Farm piece, and it has, like, when you finish it, it has like a kind of a scalloped edge. Excuse me. And I also have this Stacey Nash piece, which is called the Two Crows Scalloped Pin Keep. This is just a little black and white picture. If I can find a better picture, I'll put it in here. But this came with, kind of see through, the template for the scallop. So I plan on stitching this and then finishing them both together. This will be in DMC with, I think this is the same fabric that I used for the other scalloped pin keep. Is it straw maybe? I'm not sure. I didn't take all of this out of the bags because that would have been a crazy mess. Pumpkins and Crows by Plum Pudding Needle Art. Little. And I don't have any more orange fabric, I don't think, so I just pulled this brown. I've got two patterns here by Sweet Ethel, Stitches by Ethel. She's a designer, and she's also in my stitching group, and she is just amazing. She's so nice. I've got 3 jacks and a cat. And I've also got Candy Corn and Pumpkin. And here's what all that looks like. These are the called for DMC. I think I'm going to use this darker purple for the cat pattern. And this lighter autumny color for the candy corn pattern. I've got this little prairie schooler pulled out with a little piece of floss and the DMC. I've got the Witch Hazel Sewing Coffin by Stacey Nash. Looks like this. Just 3 colors for this. One-Eyed Jack by Lucy Beam, Love and Stitches. Looks like this. Again, colors from my stash. Teresa Kogut, Teeny Cross Stitch Chart, Black and Jack. I friggin' love them. Love their expression, so cute. This is Homespun Elegance, Wicked Tired. Got this recently. And finally, All Hallows Eve by The Good Housewife. This I got a lot of patterns off of Facebook Marketplace once, and this was in there. Cute. So those are all of my plans, which are a lot, but I just hope to enjoy the month and get done what I can get done and just have a good time stitching all the things. Alright, so next I had a little giveaway in my last video. Somebody had stitched for me the Raven pattern by Barbara Anna Designs, and I had that pattern in my stash as well, so I decided to give it away. It is this pattern here, and the winner for that pattern is Elizabeth Corsini. So Elizabeth, I will try to comment on your comment, and maybe you can send me a message on Instagram or email me your address, and I will get that in the mail for you. Okay, so all we have left, I'm gonna have to reach here for a second, is what came in the mail, but really this probably should be called like what I got from my stitching swap. So my stitching group, Thread of Wrens, held a swap at our meeting on the last Sunday of September, and we all brought our bins and our baskets and our things, and we all had a great time I think going through them, and we all went home with a bunch of goodies, so that was a lot of fun. I'm going to show you a couple of this. I'm not going to show you like everything, I'm just going to kind of show a few things. I did get this scroll frame from my friend Anne. Actually yesterday we had a Panera Stitch group meetup yesterday, and my friend Suzanne brought this Hannah Lancaster sampler for me. Just beautiful. Let's see, there's a couple things that I got that I'm just like in love with. This is from January, February 1987, just cross stitch. This clock with these flowers, I just think it's gorgeous, and I love it. I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. This Farmer's Alphabet from Pretty Schooler. These Garden Beasties I think would be cute to maybe make some of these for my nephew's room. These are adorable. This Chester by The Good Housewife. I've been collecting these cats, and I'm gonna have to check to make sure I don't already have this one. If I do have it, I will make sure I will reach back out to those ladies and see if anybody else would like it instead. I got a lot of fabric, yesterday also my friend Suzanne brought me a giant bag of yarn, which was super exciting. Beautiful purple yarn. I'm going to share that with my son's girlfriend. She loves purple too. And then Ethel, who I mentioned earlier, she had a family member, if I'm not mistaken, it was a family member who was an interior designer and had tons and tons and tons of fabric, and so she brought a giant bin of fabric for us to go through, and at the end, you know, I'm assuming everybody took what they wanted, and I took the rest of it home. I'm gonna put a picture of that in here, the giant bin of fabric. I've gone through some of it, and wow, it's very inspiring to say the least. I got this little embroidery kit, which, like, from the front you're gonna be like, Megan, that's not your style, which is correct. It looks like this. So I love this little embroidery. I wouldn't probably use the frame or anything, but that's pretty. But I was looking at the back and I was like, wow, you are today's woman. That's how I look before I stitch too. Alright, so that is everything that came from the swap and from my local stitching friends. I do have just a few other fun things to show you. I was ordering from Stitch Modern some presents for my niece. So I got her some crafty presents for Christmas, and she had this little autumn coaster set kit, and it's like the wool felt applique. And I wanted to try that, so I got that kit. This should be the last of my monthly Silks for You. This is August. Beautiful, beautiful. This was a definite find. This came up on Stash Unloading for just like $10 above the sticker on the back here, the retail sticker. So this is a fine collection by Blackbird, and wow, this is amazing. If you remember, I had a friend stitch this for me, which lives right there on the shelf in the corner. so I see it every day. But this, super excited about that book. Wow. I got another piece of linen from Stash Unload. I posted it on Instagram. I guess my mail person was having a not very good day, because I got a envelope and it said in big letters, like, do not bend, and it was bent in half, and inside of it was a Bent Creek. It was the Weather Garden by Bent Creek. I got this primitive hair book. This is Christmas Atmospheres. I saw my friend Diana stitch this angel here. It was a couple years ago, I think, right? But there was something in here I really... It was this creepy little angel. I'm not a Christian, but I love creepy angels. I've got a couple of them around my house that I've made, so I would like to make that. Another fun thing to make is this Praiseworthy Stitches creepy pumpkin stackers. Those are cute. And then just a couple older patterns. P. Buckley Moss, Grandpa's House. The scene kind of reminds me of the town that I live in. And then 2 ducks, because why not? This is Ducks and Pumpkins. And Ducks and Geraniums. Oh, well. Alright guys, I think that's everything. Thank you so much if you stuck around to the end. I know that was probably a lot, but I hope everybody has a wonderful month of October in any way that you can, and that you enjoy your stitching, and that you all are good and happy and warm and just great. So, alright everybody, thanks, love you, bye.